in the upper left now in the red. He's for, well, actually, teamless now. It's Cure. And in the bottom right in the blue, Precise Storm Gaming, the best Western Protoss at the very least. It's MaxPax's. And I think realistically right now, I am not sure whether the best Protoss player in the world, whether it's MaxPax's. Again, he doesn't have offline play, so it's really hard to compare him. But I am not sure whether it is MaxPax's with his really tremendous results. He's got a win streak against Maru, for crying out loud. Or whether it's Classic, who has more offline results and he's been playing really well. I mean, he took down Raynor, Cyril, and was it Raynor, Cyril, Maru? No, Raynor, Cyril, Bjorn at Gamers 8 in the Swiss stage. So I don't know. I legitimately don't know. Maybe there's an outside, there's a outside, maybe more of an inside path that Hero could be that, outside path that is creator. Hero's been slumping right now, so I don't think he's in the conversation, but I think he, other people could make an argument to insert him into that conversation. And of course, creator, unfortunately, when the going gets tough, creator gets going out of the tournament, is how it works. So yeah. But I legitimately don't know whether I would say Classic or MaxPax's are the better Protoss or the best Protoss player in the world right now. What I can tell you is that Cure is doing something that is a little bit against the mold for Cure. Because Cure is one of these players that, more than anything else, while he is this distillation of Korean Terran and kind of to the extreme, I still expect him to go macro more than kind of any on-the-map pressure. So for now, the Zealot has to go to the low ground, which does, of course, mean that probes get low here. Nice micro from MaxPax's to start, but he does leave one probe just all on its lonesome, crying for its mother, but it's not going to work out. Second probe goes down as well, and now the Stalker's out, but two probes and a Zealot force that couldn't defend the probes at all. That is solid. That is solid damage coming out of Cure in this game number one. Now, in fairness, the Zealot did deny further damage. It did make sure that the bunker didn't go up, so that's something. But not there yet, and it is still value, still damage that Cure found. And by the way, he has learned, as most Terran players have learned, that if you're going to go for easy, if you're going to go for pressure like this, you don't put your command center on the low ground. It's just the Protoss player has to run across them, or they have to build units to defend your Reapers, and then they're going to run across the map with them, and then you will have your natural canceled. So it's on the high ground. There's a Widow Mine there in the wall. We're going to see a starport done very quickly for this. So these Widow Mines will get dropped. And this build that Cure is going is just so well designed. And I'm not saying it's novel, by the way. I'm not saying it's new. It's something we haven't seen before. But it is just so well optimized that everything leads into the next thing. All have just some idea about exactly what they want to do. As for now, Stalkers, they don't get a Reaper. Reapers decide to leave in time. So MaxPax's just a little bit behind on the back foot here in this game number one, but at the very least he knows exactly what's happening. He saw the Widow Mine on the high ground. His probe was in the main base for so long. I mean, just ridiculously long. He saw everything. He saw the command center go down. He saw the starport go down. He's building Phoenix. He knows what he has to do to make sure that he has the defensive utility. So he's got one Phoenix on the map right now. There should be about three by the time this Widow, well, at least two by the time this drop hits. And considering it is 3 Widow Mines, that should be fine. And in fact, especially like this, as the Phoenix finds the drop early, super early here, Stalker doing damage as well. Phoenix second one joins the fray, lifting one, should kill it. Oh, lifts the second one. There we go. Third shot goes off, gets 2 probes, gets 3 actually. MaxPax's, you could have done that one better, but although in fairness, it was 2 probes, it was the third one because the Reaper's in the main, and Cure's just killing MaxPax's here. This is ridiculous. 8 probes go down on top of the 2 the Reapers got earlier. And as much as I was praising MaxPax's for being ready, as much as I was saying, yeah, this is fine, he's gonna be okay, he's lost 10 probes this game. And that is not fine. That is not okay. MaxPax's briefly found himself down at equal worker count compared to the Terran, and that's never where you want to be. So for now, MaxPax, he's going to have to try to punch back in some way. And actually, there's a lift potential on the tank here. He's got just a Zealot and a single Stalker, though. Auto turret gets dropped. Raven will fall, and okay, it is going to be a dead Phoenix. After all, here, that last one took a lot of damage as it was able to retreat, but still the Raven will go down, and that means that MaxPax can move into the Robobay. It means that we will start to see Colossus getting added in. That's something. At the very least, that is something. But we do, of course, have to see more out of MaxPax here. He's got to find more value. There's more to life than just not dying. You have to live too. And that's what MaxPax has to figure out how to do right now. So for now, third base is on the way. It's very slow in the context of a normal game of StarCraft. Probably about 20 seconds late, even talking about Phoenix Colossus. But in the context of this game where he's lost 10 probes, okay, fine. That's why it is slow. But behind this, well, Stim is on the way. It's not going to be the fastest Stim. This was Reaper proxied into an expand, into Widowmine drops. Cure's going to be ready to move on the map at 7:30, something like that. He's going to be ready to move it just a little bit later, and that does buy MaxPax time because his Robo Bay is done now. He can start to add a Colossus after he gets that Immortal. We can get extended Thermal Lance. If not done, close to being done pretty quickly here. MaxPax should be able to put himself in a position where he probably won't die to the Terran's push. Probably. And the Phoenix on the right side, hey, they're finding some value. But even still, Cure's now getting ready for his pressure. Moving out of the map, of course, before the pressure's ready. Before Stim is done, before combat shields are done. Because you want to be, the moment Stim is done, you want to be able to Stim on top of the Protoss player. Find that value, make sure that happens. And by the way, there's a second Raven that was made. Cure went back, he went back to the tech lab. He wanted that second Raven. He wanted to make sure that he could shut the Colossus down. And now this is a problem for MaxPax. Because this entire build that he's decided to go for is all about the fact, was reactive to this idea that he got the Raven. I don't know that he had decided whether he wanted to go Phoenix Colossus or Phoenix Charge up until this point. And now there's a second Raven on the field. So notice MaxPax's positioning here. His army's on the map. It's not at his base because what he has to do, what he wants to do here is eat the Raven shutdown, eat the interference matrix, drop a couple force fields and say, this is fine. I'm going to back up. I'm going to take a better fight later on. But Cure now finds his way forward. He's going to find this pylon that will fall. MaxPax could have gotten a couple Widow Mines there. Doesn't decide to do so. And then MaxPax does have to take a much more defensive position. And Cure, for the most part, he's going to try to siege up the main base here, but there's nothing to siege. Maybe the Medivacs can go boost into the main, and I don't know how I feel about that. Well, the Phoenix are there. They're going to shut it down in 2 shots. Not a lot of units really getting out. But he did, of course, have to lift the Marines. Not quite able to find that one. So value now happening in earnest here. Force fields are going to be pretty solid, actually. And this is nice. There's a shutdown, but it really doesn't matter. The Raven will fall. MaxPax, he does have to worry about this pressure at the third base. There is a Colossus here and a shield battery, but, well, no pylon, so that doesn't really matter. MaxPax is on the edge of having what he needs to defend, what he really requires to defend, but now drags Widow Mines on top of the army. That's going to be really solid. Well, the rest of the Medivacs are going to go down here as well. Only 5 workers fall. And yeah, you know what? Some Phoenix have died, but in the balance of things, at the end of all things, that was a really solid hold for MaxPax. The drop of the main got maybe a gateway. Not a lot. And really the third base, only 5 probes go down. Yeah, you know what? You add that to the 10 that have died earlier, and it's now 17. But all things considered, that was a very scary window that MaxPax was having to deal with, and now he's fine. Now he's got his Colossus out, didn't lose a single one, still looking at 3. And yeah, he's lost some Phoenix, but he's still got 5. Now charge is done. So that next round of tech that MaxPax might be looking for, it's ready here now. So Zealots on the left side moving forward, trying to really surprise Cure. But MaxPax is building Archons. And this tells you one thing, and really one thing only, and that is that MaxPax wants to push right now before the anti-Colossus tech is ready. But Cure is on the bottom side here, and he's getting ready for a base trade. Cure scans out the army. He knows where it is, and he's going to try to beeline right on top of this army. Colossus, they're not here yet, and there's a drop in the main base right now. So the third base, it goes down. Zealots in the main base, in the third base, excuse me, of Cure. They're not going to find value. Fourth base gets canceled here as well, and the drop in the main base starting to find havoc here. All of a sudden, Cure finds everything that he could possibly want here. These Zealots from MaxPax, they're killing supply depots. They don't matter. Now, there are Zealots that have found their way into the main base in some way. The Medevac fell, the Phoenix on the in the main, they're going to be able to handle things. This third base of MaxPax, it's going to get canceled once again. MaxPax rallying back home because he doesn't want to go for a full base trade here. And I feel like he kind of has to, but it's going to be recall instead. So Cure, now into the natural. Now, MaxPax continues to warp in, but he's not finding value. Now there's an Archon on the map as well. MaxPax had a great defense. And that first time really handled it supremely well, but his army in the middle of the map here showed itself on Widow Mines and the scan. Well, all of a sudden, his army was in position. He killed MaxPax. MaxPax not quick enough on the recall, not quick enough on retreating back home, loses his third, loses his fourth, loses so many probes. 41 dead in this game. And now MaxPax, he is going to struggle pretty hard, but the big deal, he still has 3 Colossus on the field. There's a single Viking. Second one, it just added right now. This army from MaxPax can still kill if he gets the proper fight, if he doesn't get surrounded, if the EMPs don't do everything. And these Zealot run-bys continue to find value. 23 dead SCVs here. Let's see if MaxPax can do it. EMP's on the front, but Archon's not really hit yet, and the Colossus just have to micro backwards as hard as they can. Guardian Shield is doing a whole hell of a thing, but there are so many Marauders! The Colossus, they just don't kill him in time. We need more Zealots, and we don't have them. No Immortals as well. MaxPax loses everything, and now he's dead. Now he's in the grave. Game 1 goes the way of Cure here in this series. MaxPax held on, but not long enough, and Cure with one fell hammer blow takes game 1. In the upper left here in the red, he's up a game, just really, really powerful base trading. Give it up. It's Cure. And in the bottom right in the blue, down a map, almost maybe almost making it happen. Marauders are good units. It's MaxPax. And as we get into this game number 2 on one of the largest maps in the pool, in my opinion, the best map in the pool, at least by the metric of giving us the best games. Just take a moment to say that if you like games from MaxPax and Cure and Maru and Serral and Beyond and Raynor and all of these fantastic players, you should make sure to hit the sub button. Because pretty much every single day of the week, unless YouTube decides to be obnoxious like they were a couple days ago, and I upload the video 24 hours in advance and it still doesn't process, and all that happens, videos of these players, best of 3s, best of 5s, best of 7s, they're going live every single day of the week, or at least the majority of the days. So you should make sure to hit that sub button, like this video, because I'm told this series is actually incredible, and let me know how many Marauders it takes to get to the center of a Toasty Pop. Because I can tell you that more Marauders than Marines, when there is nothing to buffer for Colossus, is a great recipe for killing Colossus. That much is true. And if you want to catch me live, I stream on Twitch 8 p.m. Eastern on Tuesdays and Thursdays, Mondays 7 p.m. EPT in America. EPT America is when I have the time, and Saturdays in the afternoons as I find the time. But now we're into game number 2. And if game 1 was all about the Reapers, it was all about how much value Cure found with a single Reaper early on, and then 2 Reapers later, game 2 is about the Marines. Cure is going the opposite of that early aggressive play that we saw in game number 1. It's a Marine opener into a low ground command center. But the thing is that as much as we talk about, well, okay, it's a greedier opener. It's not spending a lot of gas. It's a quick reactor. This feeds into aggressive late early game, early mid game timings, as this adept is unfortunately not gonna, if I'm MaxPax, I'm shading. I'm completing that shade. I'm killing the SCV. I'm delaying the command center, and then you just run behind the bunker and it's fine. It's only a single Marine in the bunker. But I guess he didn't know that there was the world where Cure built 2 Marines before he built a reactor, and then that's a little bit more problematic. But regardless, this build that Cure is going for, we're talking about it. By being gas greedy early, it means in the mid game, or say from 4 to 6 minutes, 3 to 5 minutes, something like that, he gets into his tech a little bit faster. So it's 2 Hellions. It's a Widowmine drop behind that. It's going to be more Widowmines than your standard Widowmine drops. It's going to be 4 instead of 2. And it's just, well, a lot of the style of the pressure that MaxPax took tremendous damage from in game number 1. I mean, realistically, the first Reapers set a bad precedent, but the Widowmine drop that it didn't do all that much, but bought time for 2 Reapers to dive in the main base and kill 8 more probes. Yeah. Here's going to try to do that. This time, though, it's going to be Widowmines probably in the main and Hellions trying to dive into the natural, but MaxPax has a full wall this time. This is going to be a little bit easier for him to hold. Although, realistically, Reapers don't care about walls all that much, at least not unless it's blocking a cliff, which MaxPax has not been doing because more and more as of late, it does seem we're seeing Terran players once again try to punish those high ground walls and just siege them up and get a free gateway, get a free cybercore, get a free pylon. But for now, 4 Widowmines in a medevac here. Blink not yet done. MaxPax, we're going to have to see just how good his pull is, and for now, it's fine. He's going to pull probes, get them split. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, and that's just how the damage happens. And then, well, 2 Widowmines will fall. Hellions try to dive into the natural. That's not going to happen. A 4th probe will die. Attempt to retarget. Doesn't really work out here. And at least that Widowmine does stay alive. So there are 2 Widowmines in the medevac for a redrop later on. But also, medevac half damage. So MaxPax handles it the way he's supposed to. And now, have you heard the story of MaxPax of the 4 Gates? It's not a story the Terrans would tell you. It is a story the Protoss players would tell you, though. And who are we kidding? It's a story the Terrans would tell you. They say, MaxPax the foolish, MaxPax the obnoxious. Because MaxPax's 4 Gates are, in fact, a thing of legends here. And against this tech-heavy opening that we saw at Cure, the tank's just going to go down immediately. And the Widowmine drop on the other side, it gets 4 more probes. That's not ideal. Actually, I'm sorry, it's the Hellions in the natural that are getting a little bit more, but it's not a ton. The single Hellion deals with it. That's fine. And MaxPax in the main base here. The tank is dead. There's a second one ready. MaxPax blinks right on top of it. There's no stim. There's nothing here. It's just Marines and paltry SCVs pulled to find some value. The Raven doesn't even, it's not useful. So all the damage that MaxPax has taken, it's going to go back in spades as these SCVs continue to fall here, continue to go down. And MaxPax, more warpins available. There's another tank. MaxPax is just going to kill it, I think, or rotate to the natural. There's a 1 bunker here, but it's going to go down very quickly. Second bunker should die pretty quickly as well. And MaxPax running roughshod truly over here in this game number 2. Yes, he's taken damage, but again, the issue is in a large part because this was a tech-heavy opening from Cure. 4 Widowmines in the medevac. Hellions as well. That's a lot of factory build time. Stalkers, get on top. Get on top of these Marauders and the Marines. They get the Raven as well here. And the medevac is just keeping these Stalkers alive. The blink as well. 7 more SCVs go down. Do we have any tanks? No, we don't. That was a tank that MaxPax jumped on top of as well. Here, he's going to have to pull the SCVs. 1 more hope, 1 more opportunity, but he is just slowly bleeding out. And by the way, MaxPax at this point, realizing that the army of Cure is very slow, might as well go get on top of the tank as it spawns. Maybe just get stim. Maybe just get both here. Tank will fall. MaxPax does lose a stalker. I know, and now he loses a stalker, so it seems like stim will complete, but who cares? MaxPax is just in a wonderful position here. He can find his way out. He has done the damage. And now there's still stalkers in the natural, by the way. This command center is going to start to burn very quickly. In fact, there we go. Burning down. SCVs have to get pulled here. So the entire army, in fact, has to get pulled here to make sure the SCVs stay alive, which means check the main. Here, you got a bit of a stalker problem. It's staring through your windows. It's pulling back the curtain. It's got a little smart tag on your medevacs. It knows exactly where they are and exactly when you're moving out, so it can find its way into your house, put a smart tracker on your TV, because apparently that's what we need to do here, and just knock down all your SCVs. It's a problem. MaxPax, Cure doesn't have a solution here at all. More SCVs continue to fall. And even if stim is done, medevacs aren't even, they're not even, there's like 1 out, and it doesn't have energy. it won't repair everything. MaxPax, he's won this game. Cure isn't tapping out just yet, but make no mistake about it. Cure is dead. MaxPax has got his third base halfway done. He's double the worker counter, close enough. He's got charge on the way. MaxPax is just, he's looking dominant. And Cure does not have an option. That being said, as tempting as it is to say, MaxPax just outskilled Cure in this game, and he did in part. The other thing we have to point out is, again, what I've been saying, part of this, it's not necessarily a build order win, but it is a build order advantage. Cure going for those Widow Mines and the Hellions, just a lot of factory build time, a lot of gas spent before you get the tech lab down, which means that by the time MaxPax hit, well, there's only one tank that can get canceled very quickly and killed very quickly, and then it just starts to snowball. Stim is always going to be later in this build. That's always going to be a problem. So MaxPax, not a lot. I mean, the Warp Prism goes down. That's something. But yeah, here at this point, it's taken 9 minutes to get us here, but the last 5 or so, less 4 or so, have been 100% MaxPax winning the game, and Cure coming to terms with it. But that means that MaxPax, he's tied up in the series. It's one apiece. And in the upper right here, in the blue, taking game number 2 with style, with pizzazz, it's MaxPax. And in the bottom left, in the red, proxying once again, Cure. And while this feels like a game that might end very, very quickly, right, with a 2-racks proxy, we should take a moment to talk about how these two players match up against each other. And Cure is one of the few Terrans that MaxPax has historically struggled with. Now, granted, this is Legacy of the Void. I don't exactly know what the last, say, 5 games are. But 22-4, it is a rare player that has that type of scoreline against MaxPax. And in part, it's because that, well, Cure, he is not the world's best Terran. He's the world's second best Terran. That title, world's best Terran, very much goes to Cure. But, or goes to Mario, excuse me. But I will argue that, I would argue here that MaxPax, or excuse me, that Cure has the world's best PvT, or the world's best TvP. And with that being the case, it makes some level of sense. That being said, though, Cure, he's pulling out all the stops here in this third game, in this series. He's going proxy Marauders. And MaxPax, he's going to try to get that shield battery up in time. Zealot's already out, and there is no concussive shell. So that's a problem, is that this Marauder does have to get dealt with. But we don't... Okay, so Cyber's done. Stalker now on the way. First one done, second one getting started. So this shield battery is going to get up. And we should get the second one up eventually. Actually, it might even just get up before the Marauders arrive, certainly before concussive shells are done. MaxPax, he had a really good scout on this. What did he see, actually? I was starting to talk about other things. He saw the single gas. Okay, that's what he saw. Single gas, nothing in the main. And that's a really solid scout. That'll tell you a lot. Because normally Proxy Reaper will be double gas. So immediately we see these the shield batteries go down, and the natural Stalker's getting chronoed out. We have gateway tech on the way, and because Cure wasn't able to snowball this is starting to look pretty solid for MaxPax right now. But here come the Marauders running forward, tapping down Stalker damage. Probes get pulled. They just kill a Marauder and an SCV, and literally nothing has died. MaxPax, that's a lot of value right now, but Cure's going to try to re-engage once again. Here, another SCV will fall down. It's trying to just soak damage as much as it can, but it hasn't done enough. And now more shield batteries are going to pop up pretty soon here. MaxPax's target fire, immaculate, by the way. Never attacking more than one single Marauder, just making sure that every time he trades, every single time he trades, he's going to get damage on a Marauder, make sure, bring it that much closer to death. Now, one shield battery will fall, but it's one that has spent most of its energy anyways, keeping these units alive. More shield batteries on the way. One Marauder will fall. Second one. MaxPax does not want to leave shield battery range. Not just yet. Has to be careful. And a Stalker has fallen. A Zealot has fallen. But more gateways are on the way. More shield batteries on the way. Overcharge was popped there just to keep everything alive. Now, Cure, of course, keeping the low Marauders back at the back line. But now, okay, I'll hold that thought because SCVs, they're just going to get pulled here. Cure ending this game come hell or high water, but the shield battery count is just so high. And the probes, they're just going to get pulled defensively. A single Reaper, why not? KDA charges can try to bust this up maybe just a little bit more. SCVs are all going down. The probes aren't. Shield batteries keeping them alive for the most part here. Reaper takes damage, but the Marauders are still here, and now problems start to happen. There are so many Marauders in this game that the probes will start to fall. They can't get that surround, but man, these Marauders, they're so very low here. Stalkers have to retreat back home. The probe surround for the backline actually is going to be really, really nice as the shield batteries, the dregs of the energy, keeping things alive here. More Marauders are going to go down. Cure desperately trying to micro through. He wants to end this game, but the overcharge is back up, and now it's 3 Stalkers versus 2 Marauders. Now MaxPax's skin of his teeth keeps himself alive, and look at the worker count, 27 to 15. All of a sudden here, MaxPax's, he's in a fantastic spot. It's not going to be easy still. This is still a lot of pressure from this consistent Marauder production. But 15 SCVs were pulled. Cure's economy is dregs. It's not good. And notice, of course, just the occasional Zealot that MaxPax's is warping in here. It's to soak Marauder shots. It's like the SCVs that Cure pulled with the initial pressure. You don't want to target the Zealot. It's not going to do any damage to your Marauders. But it is tanky. It does not take bonus damage from the Marauders. It's just something that will allow MaxPax's to take the fight a little bit longer, ideally to make sure that Zealot takes the damage, not the Stalkers. Kind of like you get a Zealot with your Blink Stalker count for tanks. But now Cure's given up on this. He's pulling back home. He's got a natural on the way, but again, I don't know how much I believe in this. All the production from Cure is on the map. I don't think that this is going to work out super well. He's going to try. But unfortunately, trying is not in fact succeeding. So, you know what? Maybe. Stim is going to be done pretty soon. Combat shields as well. There's a world where MaxPax's runs across the map to try to punish Cure, and Cure sweeps in with this stim timing and kind of kills a natural at MaxPax's, kills a lot of workers, but this has been scouted now. MaxPax's is aware of what's happening, so he's going to get a Marauder for free pretty much. Now, the one thing we have to take into consideration is that there's no blink. Stalkers, once they're caught, don't really run, but the concave is there, and Marauders continue to fall. There's more stuff. More stuff really, truly does beat less stuff here as the Marauders continue to get targeted down. The Marines truly don't matter, and MaxPax's hits the timing right before Stim is done. In fact, the Marauders, the Marines, they've been forced off of it. Stim and combat shields may just get canceled. It seems like Stim will complete combat shields. That's going to get denied, but at this point, the army of Cure is dead. The tech of Cure diminished significantly. MaxPax's has this game. I really don't see a world where Cure is going to be able to take it back. So Cure opens with proxy Marauders. MaxPax's gets the scout off. He has the defense, and yeah, Cure scans how many probes are at the natural and realizes I'm kind of dead here. MaxPax's, he's going to go up 2-1. So now we ask ourselves the important question, whether the man in the bottom left in the red is going to be able to make the comeback happen. So, bottom left in the red is Cure. Or conversely, in the bottom right in the red, whether he's going to take the series right here, he's MaxPax's. And again, 22-4 all time. MaxPax's really getting the short end of the stick against Cure, historically. Now, that being said, MaxPax's has really turned his PvT on in the last year or so, and just because you're 22-4 all time doesn't necessarily mean that you're 22-4, or that MaxPax's doesn't say have a 3-1 streak or a 4-0 streak or something. More recently, so I don't know. I should add that to the UI. Actually, I should add kind of the last 5 meetings. The last 5 meetings scoreline, just like WWLLW or something. I mean, that'd be probably a bit of a value add, maybe just a little bit. But good news, those of you that enjoy Cure's macro games, and I think I consider myself one of them. I just like macro games in general. Cure's not proxying in this game. We're not seeing 1 or 2 barracks on the map. We're not trying to see him end the game before it truly begins. Although realistically, that build in game number 1 with a proxy Reaper is not all in. It really isn't. It's pressure. It's to force a zealot out, maybe. I mean, it did force a zealot out. It's just to be obnoxious. It's not. If it finds the value, that's great, but it's not all in. It's what Mario taught us, right? Proxies are not all in, but MaxPax is gonna go and do something a little bit interesting here in this game number 3. Now, this is not going to be a proxy Stargate, I don't think. It's just too late, right? It's after Warpgate pretty significantly. It doesn't make a lot of sense, but yeah, there we go. The other option, the more reasonable option, is you drop a gateway, you just put pressure on the map here, but it's just going to get scouted immediately. I don't know what Cure saw. I don't know what... I mean, actually, I can probably tell you. I think he was counting pylons. But even with that, MaxPax is oversupplied, so that's not even the... I mean, yeah. Counting pylons doesn't even do it. MaxPax, you just get scattered out. That being said, though, he does get an adept on the map really quick here, and that will delay the command center for quite a while, but that also means that there are no adepts at home at all. MaxPax overcommits on the other side of the map because he sent his second adepto, or his stalker, right? Not the second adept. Anyway, second gateway unit onto the other side of the map as well. And these Reapers, they get 6 probes. They hamstring MaxPax's supply in just such an incredible way. So while MaxPax is being obnoxious and denying the command center for quite a while here, MaxPax lost 6 probes, and in the balance of things, well, is that just an equalizing force? This actually might just be equalizing damage, because Cure cannot mine for this natural, and he did build his command center on the low ground, so at this point it feels really bad to go and cancel that, go again. But look at what MaxPax is doing. He's hiding this. He's hiding the extra stalkers, now trying to get on top of this tank, maybe, but at the very least he will get Marines. And oh, MaxPax felt like he could have gotten more there, doesn't find it, and now this command center should complete. I feel like MaxPax could have played on the edge of tank range a little bit more, but regardless, Cure now stabilizes his natural. But of course, it's past 4 minutes and Cure doesn't have his natural done. So MaxPax loses 6 probes. Cure loses a lot of time. On the flip side, though, MaxPax, by getting that second gateway, by getting aggressive on the map as he did, he does slow down his tech rather consistently, or rather significantly. So is this kind of the setup we're looking at? It's weird, right? This is a weird game. It's a weird game state that we found our way into. Cure goes, he doesn't proxy, but he puts pressure on. He gets 6 probes early on his 2 Reapers because MaxPax committed to delay his command center for forever. So at the end of the day, it's kind of a wash. I think I do favor Cure's position a little bit more, especially after those couple stalkers go down. He's Cure. He's going to get ready to go for timings. MaxPax is supply blocked. Cure, of course, has mules to come back into his economy a little bit. MaxPax didn't turn that pressure into a third base because, again, he lost those 6 probes, and that does slow him down. So from here on out, Cure's going to be able to do exactly what Cure wants to be able to do. MaxPax, he's got 3 things he wants to do. He's got to pick 2, especially as this Reaper gets a 7. Okay, it's not going to get an 8th, but still, so much more damage. So much more damage. The damage that Cure has been able to get out of his Reapers in this series it's kind of insane, actually. He got what was it, 8 probes, I think, in game number 1 off the kind of the delayed Reaper timing. This time he gets 8 or 9 more, or 7 or 8 more. Everything really. Cure in these macro games, or these, I guess, standard early games, he's kind of running roughshod over MaxPax. Now, because of this, because Cure's natural was pretty heavily delayed because he felt the need to get production and everything set up, I'm not even going to say the starport is late, but starport's a little later than Kier would like to be. And that does mean that he won't really be able to get himself into Viking counts all that quickly. And that means that if Kier wants to go for a bit of a timing here, it's going to be a little hard. There will be 2 or 3 Colossus out on the map by the time that Kier does opt to move out. But if he just wants to stay at home and take his third base, as he is, he's going to be very fine. So now, +1, 10 seconds from completion. Nearabouts, concussive shells a little bit further off. Combat, it's all timing up pretty nicely here. But because Kier is going for this third base, we don't have quite the supply explosion that we might otherwise like to see. That being said, the damage that Kier got early, it does mean that he has built himself a fairly nice army here. Just a little bit. And 3 tanks are enough to one-shot a Colossus. Even, not quite through shield battery overcharge, but certainly to punch through the shields on overcharge due to the change. And 4 tanks, they will kill Colossus. Absolutely, if Kier can get himself a good siege up. But for now, he just wants to get active on the map a little bit. 16 Marines and 2 medevacs will get scattered out very quickly. And Kier actually instead, he's just going to kill the Observer, which is actually really valuable, all things considered, because MaxPax doesn't want to be spending robo time on Observers right now. He wants to be building Colossus or Disruptors or a Warp Prism, maybe Immortals to kind of buttress that ground army a little more against this heavy Marauder play that Kier has been showing us in the series. And having to build more Observers just doesn't feel all that great. So now, tanks getting ready, scan goes off, but only 1 tank fires. So nothing really will fall here, but drop into the main base at the same time. Stalkers are in position, but a lot of the Marines are going to unload before anything happens. Yeah, 1 will get targeted down, 1 medevac will, but the shield batteries not do enough. 10 probes at the deck. Stalkers fall here as well, and overcharge, well, it can't heal everything. So Stalkers continue to fall here. Zealots charge in, but I mean, look at this positioning. The Zealots are just dying. The Marines are not, and everything is just falling down. All of a sudden here, MaxPax is getting, well, he's getting annihilated, is the long and short of it here. Kier hits his timing, and he doesn't even need to go to the third. He gets 9 probes. He gets everything he could possibly want. 13 probes go down. He doesn't even have to pressure the third. My bad. I hit the wrong button. We're gonna be okay. We're gonna be okay. And now behind this, Kier, he's got his third base. The Warp Prism also didn't get all that much, to be clear. But he's got his third base. Ghosts are starting to get added in. The Ghost Academy just completed, and that's before the Templar Archives is done. So any sort of Archon timing, good luck. Ghosts or Storm is going to be hard to deal with as well, but MaxPax is not really a Storm player in the same way that Hero is. Kier has pretty much everything he wants, and look at this on the right side as well. He's got another drop here. This 4th base for MaxPax is going to get canceled. The one thing that we can talk about what MaxPax has been doing really well over the course of this game, or the Kier's been doing really well over the course of this series, he's playing the map so well here. Game 1 was the same way, where he just finds MaxPax's army out of position again and again and again and again and punishes it and kills things, and 12 more probes go down. 4th base gets canceled, and now Kier, he's gonna stim into the third here. Shield battery, the first thing to fall. This base might just fall down here. The army is slow to rotate. Kier splitting away, targeting it down, tapping it down. He gets another base. Jeez. I gotta stop doing that. Bad muscle memory. Anyway, 16 probes go down, and again, dropping the main base here. Kier's gonna micro away from this, but he is realistically, look at the supply. It's 170 to 120, and MaxPax can't even resupply. So many pylons, so many Nexi have gone down that he's supply blocked. Now MaxPax is luckily finding value. Luckily finding some way to reinforce, in that he's losing units, which is not what you want. But he, of course, not supply blocked by the end. He lost enough units to make that happen. Kier, though, brings it back here. Just dazzling map movement. And it means now, one more game for all the marbles here. MaxPax and Kier, 1 player moves on. 1 player falls down to the lower bracket. Is it MaxPax Kier? That's going to be game 5. At the bottom left here in the Red looking for the, well, not quite a reverse sweep, but close enough. It's Cure. And in the upper right, in the blue, looking to move on in the upper brackets. His name is MaxPax. And as I was saying, I have been told that this game, or this series in general, is really, really good. This series is just absolutely bonkers. And, you know, I'm not sure that I've seen that from the first 4 games. We had good games, certainly, but it was all, in my mind, the best games are characterized by back and forth play. You know, players really snatching defeat from victory, victory from defeat, back and forth, trades all over the place. And realistically, kind of the first 4 games in this series, we've seen like really cool holds out of MaxPax, cool pressure. I mean, Cure absolutely ripped MaxPax apart a couple games, but it's all been kind of one note. It's been one player that has looked really, really good, and the other player, of course, they look good in different games, but you know, we haven't had this just incredible game. And I was told again, this was a really, maybe not best of the year games, but that's not fair. But I did see people saying that this is just a really good series. So by process of elimination, this is the last game in the series. Clearly, it's just going to be fantastic. Now, MaxPax does have to deal with some shenanigans early. Cure will eBay block him, and that means that MaxPax does have to take the natural at the third, kind of like a Zerg would have to. And in a game like this, on a map like this, that feels real bad. In fact, it almost forces MaxPax to go Stargate. I don't know what he wanted to do. I don't know what his game plan was. Certainly, Altitude's a pretty solid blink map. That's a lot of room outside of the main base that you can look to abuse, although buttressed by the fact that there is a low ground, a natural ramp, so you can't kind of blink into the main, immediately run into the natural like one might hope. Regardless, MaxPax pretty much has to open Stargate because of that run by potential. He has to be able to lift up run bys. It's really hard to wall. And that might have been kind of the game planning there from Cure on this map. I want to force you into Stargate play so you don't go 4-gate blink, because we saw how powerful that was for MaxPax. And again, this is a fairly decent map for it. Although if you're MaxPax, I guess every single map is a fairly decent map for blink stalkers. So for now, MaxPax chronoing an Oracle out just for that map vision. And Cure's gone for 4 Hellions. He's gonna have to go and find some value with this. This is a commitment. This is not just the whole, yeah, you know what, I got a factory because it builds into my timing, but I don't quite have the gas that I want to build just yet, so I'm gonna build a Hellion. No, this is 4. And this is 1 more than you need to one-shot, but Oracle at home actually can do some pretty significant damage. Bonus damage to light is a thing. 1 Hellion goes down. Oracle, though, keeps that energy on, trying to make sure it knocks something, but now this means that this Oracle is gonna have nothing aggressively. Nothing at all. It's not gonna kill workers. So MaxPax has been defanged a little bit. He's been declawed. At least his Oracles have. At least for the time being. And that means now that, well, Cure just gets to play again the game that he wants to play. And he's even thinking about diving in with these Hellions once again, maybe hoping that MaxPax thinks the danger is past. I don't know, but you know, MaxPax may think the danger has passed. There's only 1 Phoenix on the map right now. Now, we're going to see a Hellion get lifted because that means probes get 2-shot instead of 3, and a second Hellion's going to pop out pretty quickly. Not in time to kill this Hellion, though, so instead, it's going to be the high health Hellion that will go down. Shield battery in the main, keeps things alive. Adepts deal with this for the most part. So 2 probes fall, not the end of the world, but ideally, again, if you're MaxPax, you would have preferred to lose nothing. I don't think MaxPax could have lost nothing. He was just a little bit too spread out on the map. So strike 1 goes the way of Cure just a little bit. And behind this, of course, Stim on the way, 3-1-1 type of setup. And MaxPax, it's Phoenix Colossus, kind of. I mean, he's building 3 Phoenix. He's paused Phoenix production for the moment to get more stuff out. And now it's going to be on the way. So I shouldn't say it's going to be Phoenix Colossus here in this 5th and final game. And you know, the other game that we saw MaxPax play Phoenix Colossus didn't work out for him all that well. he tried to go. He got ripped asunder by Cure, lost too many Phoenix, and then eventually did die. Now, of course, as I say that, just because one game doesn't go MaxPax's way, doesn't mean that the style is wrong for him or it's dead for him. And on altitude with as much dead airspace as there is, I kind of like the build, or I kind of like the style. Really, there are multiple ways you can get into Phoenix Colossus. There are multiple ways you can play Phoenix Colossus, but the style, at the very least, the idea, at the very least. So third base now just about done in the natural there for MaxPax. He's got, well, an Immortal out. First Colossus should be done rather soon. Extended Thermal Lance on the way. And Cure's going to be getting ready to move out pretty quickly here. Stim is done. Combat shields, give it 20 seconds. +1, closer to a minute. So really the question now we ask ourselves is, what is the timing that Cure wants to hit? Is it based on Stim? Is it based on combat shields? Is it based on +1? Is he going to stagger his timings to try to make sure that he can kind of hit with Stim, and then he can hit with combat shields, and then he can hit with +1, and every single one is scary, and the Protoss is really struggling to is just always reeling, as Cure just plays on the edge of full commitment. But for now, the answer does appear to be, at the very least, the full 1-1-1. So Stim is done, combat shields done in just about right now. Concussive shells getting added in as well. Now we get to see whether Cure's going to be able to go in and punch through this. So where are we at here? MaxPax, 2 Colossus. Not a third one on the way yet. Building a bunch of other stuff, building tech, building all these gateways, getting ready for the next stage of this game. Now Cure does have his third base on the way, but it will get delayed a little bit. Actually, I don't even know if that stasis trap delays the third. It might time out before the command center is done and floats over. So really not much of anything. But Cure for now, just denying theoretically the fourth base location, maybe getting a pylon down. But I think MaxPax might take the north side base. And actually, yeah, more likely he's going to get the north side base. This pylon is really just more of a scouting pylon than anything else there on the medevacs. MaxPax now content to stay high ground. He's going to be okay. This pressure from Cure is just not going to work out. Well, that's not even fair. It's not really committed pressure. It's just Cure has units and he has timings, and you might as well shark around and see if you can find something. And if you don't, it's whatever. But no, that stasis trap will be able to delay the third for actually a little bit longer than I gave it credit for. That's a little annoying. Look at what MaxPax is doing here. Seems like he's kind of figured out this propensity that Cure has been going for, as stasis trap denies. Have fun there, Cure. I mean, he has scans, so this shouldn't be all that bad, but it's still gonna be annoying. Okay, he didn't even need to drop his scan. Just sacrificed an SCV to the cause briefly and made sure that things were on. Made sure the SCV, which is barely out of range, the command center could drop here. But anyway, what I was talking about was the fact that MaxPax seems to have clued into this idea that Cure is playing like Beyond from 6 months ago, where he just doesn't like Vikings. You'd rather build medevacs. Medevacs, they heal your army. They give you map control. They don't kill Colossus. So MaxPax is getting ready for a massive timing here. He's going to have +1. Yeah, he's got his fourth base on the way, but that's not super relevant. He's got +1. He's going to have 4 Colossus here. It's going to time out with charge really nicely, and the Warp Prism and these Archons. There's going to be a lot of splash damage. And I think that Nexus just died, actually. Yeah, it did. MaxPax late on the cancel here. That's expensive. That is tremendously expensive. And now MaxPax, is he going to pull the trigger here? He's been scouted out. Cure now knows that there are 4 Colossus on the map. He saw 2 on the left side. He saw 2 on the right side. He's aware of what's happening. But now, again, the question of whether he adapts to this or whether he's just going to be fine, saying, I'll win on the concave. I'll win on the multitasking. That's going to be okay. That's more than enough. Well, that remains yet to be seen. But for now, it really does seem that is going to be the option. Is more Ghosts get added in, but more medevacs, not more Vikings. Again, Cure's somewhat happy. He killed the fourth base. He didn't cancel it. As more Zealots are going to warp in here. EMP is on. Oh, EMP is on. The Warp Prism are annoying. One Ghost will follow. The Warp Prism stays alive. Ring around the Rosie there. And on the left side, MaxPax force field doesn't get much. Not super relevant. And without the Ghost in the army right now, this Archon is a bit of a problem still. It's not a nice blue balloon. It's a lead balloon, I guess. In that case, it's pretty heavy. Pretty hard for Kir to shift. Pretty hard for him to move. This army coming out of MaxPax right now, it's kind of all in. Now he is getting a 4th base, of course, and that'll get started eventually, but he's not above 70 probes. And again, more importantly here, this army is not one that moves late. Not with, what is this, 6 Archons in the army. This is not an army that fights into the late game. It dies to Ghosts. It dies to Widowmines. So MaxPax wants to hit a timing right now as one Colossus Shield Battery River Church, keeping it alive, running away. Kir tried to Carbon Bomb on top, and it seems to be pretty successful here. Colossus were the only thing that got recalled somehow, so, well, it's just not working out at all. Meanwhile, on the bottom side, the more Colossus will keep this army alive. But the main base is a problem here. The Zealots can't get themselves on top. The Archons, I mean, what are they gonna do? They just do not do anything against this army. So eventually MaxPax is gonna clean it up. But oh man, 9 workers go down. That's expensive. And now, here with this 1-1 timing, +2 attack, about halfway done. Armor just a little bit further away here. MaxPax is lacking in tech in a pretty significant way. He's got 2 Colossus, but it's only 2. He had 4. These Archons are here, but at this point, I mean, there are so many Ghosts on the map. They're not super relevant. And this Warp Prism, with as much damage as it's taken from the EMPs, from the Ghosts, from everything, it can't do much either. So MaxPax, he needs to find a way to make this army valuable, to make this army viable. And I don't know if he's going to be, again, it feels like the tech here, if Kir is outstripping him. And yeah, the Viking count's not incredible, but it doesn't have to be anymore. It's only 2 Colossus. It's not 4. So now we get to see what MaxPax makes of this. By the way, that natural is mining out. I mean, it's in the 3rd base location, but that natural is mining out. MaxPax, even as he's just barely now established his 4th base, doesn't have a lot of mining on his other bases. His main base and his main base and the 3rd base location, it's 4 mineral patches in the main. It's, where's my mouse? There it is. Now in the natural, it's only 4 mineral patches. What is happening with my mouse here? I'm just like losing connection to it. There we go. MaxPax is mining off of like net 3 bases here, which is not bad, but as Kir takes that 4th base, Kir was also in a similar situation, but he has mules, so that really does make up for quite a bit of the issues. And now 3-2 on the way for Kir, +2 only on the way for MaxPax. So Kir's tech now in a really good spot. His upgrades are in a really good spot here. His economy in a pretty solid spot. And MaxPax, the style that he's going into, adding in 2 more robos, going up to 3 in total, as he will lose this disruptor right now. EMPs just pop the Archons, or they make that latex very, very thin. Well, it makes it just hard for MaxPax to take this fight whatsoever. The Colossus have to join the fray. And if you're going to play the style that MaxPax wants to play, Charge Lot, Disruptor, Blake Stalker, Archon, Ground Pound Protoss, Gateway Protoss, you need that 5th. You need to stay a base up on the Terran. And that's not something that Kir is allowing MaxPax to do. And make no mistake about it, MaxPax is trying. He really wants to be able to make that happen. But this army movement from Kir, we talked about it in Game 4. We talked about it in Game 1. It's just so good. He's making it feel consistently that despite having rather equal army supply, both of his armies are just bigger. So now EMP's on this army of Vikings. They're going to try to find what they can. Not going to get all that much at the moment here. But now that's going to be a free disruptor maybe. And, well, Kir on the right side thinking about a little bit more. EMPs on the Archons here. 1 goes down, 2. There we go. That's the popping you're looking for. Like a balloon in the noonday sun. Something like that. A balloon with a laser shined on it. Except the laser's wide and can pop multiple balloons at the same time. And looks pretty. That being said, though, that's a solid disruptor shot here, but the Colossus will fall. MaxPax does want to put pressure on the right side here, but he's going to be attacking into a planetary. He's going to be attacking into the Terran reinforcements. It feels hard. It feels pretty rough for MaxPax right now, but he has managed to max out. He does have +2 attack. Armor's on the way, adding in more and more disruptors. His count is starting to get pretty significant. He's going to be up at 7. And 7 is that magic number that says I can 100%, I can keep a disruptor ball, I can keep a Nova on the map at all times, consistently, shot after shot after shot after shot. I can stack, or I can salvo them. Now, of course, if you want to send out multiple shots and force the Terran to split more, that changes the calculus, obviously. But oh, that's a good shot right there. MaxPax, though, feels like he might need just a little bit more here with the upgrade deficit that he's dealing with. But that is a solid way to start the pressure here. Now, on the left side, here, seems like he's going to be forced back just a little bit more. No more like there's one more Colossus on the map. It's on the right side, but Zealot's starting to get on top of this army. There's no planetary on the left side, but Cure's going to force the fight in the middle, maybe make something happen. And this is where the game starts to get really interesting here. Both players have armies on the left and right side of the map, as a Wood of Mine will go down. Not misclick there. Force field instead of a Nova. Unfortunate. But now MaxPax is going to bring his army together, and Cure has the setup here. Look at the army on the left side, right side as well. Orbital is going to get pulled. EMPs on this army. Cure, if the splits are good, this is a masterful engagement that he's getting ready to pick. But for now, he's going to get the Colossus down. Massive disruptor shot on the right side, though. Cure's army supply, it's still pretty good. It's still pretty solid here, but it's all going to go down to these disruptors as MaxPax having to take a losing fight, a retreating fight right now. 17 SCVs have gone down, but this army of MaxPax right now, it cannot take this fight. It has to run. Even still, MaxPax with reinforcements will force Cure back for the time being. But now that most of the disruptors have gone down, it's all gateway units. And let me tell you, gateway units against Stem Bio with Ghosts are just not a solid option whatsoever here. Here on the reinforcement setup, he's got more bases than MaxPax. He's got more bases than MaxPax. That's a problem. But if you have disruptors, you can always win a game. So we're gonna have to see whether the miracles will be enforced, whether MaxPax with this disruptor count is going to be able to find what he wants, and whether these 3 Colossus coming out of MaxPax are going to be enough here to catch Cure off guard. Cure has 4 Vikings. He didn't lose them. That is a really key thing to point out. Often in games like this, you land the Vikings, they die in the fight, but they add damage, and then the Colossus transition catches the Terran totally off guard. This is not 12 Vikings. This is not 9 Vikings. This is not enough to truly deal with the Colossus, but it is enough to put pressure on top of them now. And one Colossus is already taking a lot of damage. Stalkers now have to blink forward, of course, but that is still heavy damage on that Colossus. It means Stimmin is that much more vulnerable. And Cure on the north side, though, he's got that reinforcement setup. He's got that base going down, and now we go solidly into base trade territory. And the question now is, how good of a surround is Cure going to have? How good is its base trade? Because MaxPax's army is all together here. This is a big army for MaxPax, but Liberators in the main, well, they're a problem. They're going to be hard for MaxPax to push through. So 3 Colossus right here. Widowmines almost get that Colossus down, but now MaxPax in the planetary is going to have to really take a hard fight. Disruptors, they're going to kill a lot of SCVs, but Cure dodged the shot, and now the planetary stays alive. For so long, MaxPax is dead, and Cure killed him. Dodging the disruptor shot with at least some of those SCVs kept the planetary alive. That was enough because Cure was killing MaxPax from the inside out. He got the 5th base. He got, I think the natural was dead by that time, moving into the main. Cure did everything he had to at home, and it was a simple cleanup task on the other side of the map. So Cure, he's the one that gets to move on forward. He's the one that gets to move on to the upper bracket semis or upper bracket quarterfinals, whatever it is. And MaxPax, he's got to play Cyril in the lower round of the playoffs. And that is a terrifying matchup now for the Danish Protoss. But man, what a sexy move out of Cure to end that 5th and final game. That was well played.